Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I did a tutorial on this look, which is my go-to makeup look with the exception of the lips. I don't do these bold lips all the time, just when I'm in the mood. But Disney Damsels commented on my first video here on this channel and said, would love a makeup tutorial for Disney parks, especially the kind of foundation concealer you would use on hot summer days. I love your Disney vlogs and your makeup in the parks always looks amazing. First of all, thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching the vlogs, and this one is for you. So in this video, not only do I show you how I achieved this look, but I also share some tips that I have for making your makeup last through hot days or long days. And I also talk about some of my favorite products because I have used these products over and over again, and they are ones that I know won't let me down. So if you guys are interested to see how I achieve this look, then just keep on watching. So I have already applied my Cetaphil moisturizer. Now I'm going in with my Neutrogena Clear Face Breakout Free Liquid Lotion Sunscreen. It's a really long name, but this has SPF 55 in it, and I like applying sunscreen when I know I'm going to be going out early in the day and I have a full day ahead of me. Especially living in Florida, it is pretty hot on most days, and I don't want my skin to get sunburned. My skin is also pretty naturally red, so I don't want to enhance that in any way. I did choose this sunscreen because I am acne prone, so you can just find any facial sunscreen that works for you, but I highly recommend putting it on if you are going to a theme park or if you're just going to be doing any outdoor activity really. Then I'm going in with my Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray. I love this stuff, especially for those hot days, because I don't have to put on an extra layer of makeup. This is just a nice light mist that soaks into the skin really quickly, but also is effective at keeping my makeup on. So I'm just going to spray this on generously. Then, to ensure my makeup isn't going to budge, before I apply my foundation with my beauty blender, I dampen it, dry it as much as possible, and then I spray some of the primer spray onto it. That way, when I am applying my foundation and pressing it into the skin, I am also pressing in some more primer. For foundation, I am using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. I have been using this for so long now. I've repurchased it so many times. I use the shade Light Medium Sand. It does have SPF 15, so it can't hurt to have that extra protection from the sun. And it does last all day long, especially if you are using primer and setting spray and all that good stuff. So I'm going to put this on the back of my hand, use my beauty blender to press it into the skin. And I just kind of do this one section at a time. So I start with my chin, then I do my cheeks, my forehead, my nose. Next, I go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I am in the shade Fair. I apply this pretty much everywhere, so underneath my eyes, a little bit on my chin, my cheeks, and my forehead as well. To blend in my concealer, I am going to use my beauty blender again, except I am going to use the tip this time. And then I don't want the concealer to crease and then set that way, so I am going to work quickly to set my under eyes. I actually like to bake for days that I know I want my makeup to last. So I'm going to use the NYX Set It and Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. This is in the shade Light Medium. And I am going to take a heavy amount of that onto my beauty blender and pack it right underneath the eyes. And then I usually just pat the excess elsewhere on my face. What you're doing is applying so much powder to the point where you are trapping the heat from your body, and it sets your concealer in place for a very long time. It will not move, it will not budge. And then while my bake is on, I like to go in and start my eyeshadow. I love doing this because I love the shape that I get afterwards. Basically, the bake is along the lower lash line, but it gives a really soft edge, so I like it more than putting like a piece of tape, because that can be a little bit harsh and intense. That's not really the look that I go for usually, so this just works perfectly for me. I'm going to use the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. I'm just trying to use up what primers I have before I go out and get new ones, but I do love the Urban Decay Primer Potion. That's another great option. So I just blend this in using my finger. I absolutely cannot blend in eyeshadow primer with a brush. It just doesn't work for me. So for my eyeshadow, I use my MAC Custom palette. Basically, you purchase this empty and then fill it with the pan eyeshadows of your choosing. I'm going to take my Sigma E25 blending brush and I am going to go into Cork and Woodwinked. I mix them together. They're both warm browns. Woodwinked is just a little bit more shimmery, and I just apply those as my transition shade in the crease. I just basically keep blending until there are no harsh lines and that brown is worked up towards my brow bone. Then I go in with a more precise brush. This is a pencil brush from Sigma and Twinks eyeshadow from MAC. This is a deep burgundy color. And I apply this in the outer corner of my eye and kind of bring it into the crease a little bit. Now going in with a flat shader brush from Sigma, I am going to use Nylon from MAC, which is the shimmery off-white color. You can tell that I use these shadows a lot because I've hit pan on most of them. Kind of like to pull it up a little towards that crease color. And then I also apply it right underneath the brow bone to highlight and to make sure there's no harsh edge from the crease color. Then I'm also going to put some of this color right onto the lid. I'm actually going to wipe off my bake now with my Tarte brush here. And then I just kind of like to sweep the brush over the rest of my face. Now for the star of the show, this is the Naked Cosmetics Pigment in Sierra Nevada. In this pigment is super fine glitter. So it's not super obvious, but if people are looking, they'll see it. I pat this right on the eyelid and kind of bring it into the inner corner as well. Just use my finger because it's the best way to get that pigmentation. Now taking that flat shader, I'm going to use the tip to pick up the combination of Cork and Woodwinked and just apply that to my lower lash line. And that is it for the eyeshadow. It's pretty simple. Now I'm going to do my eyeliner. I use the MAC Blacktrack Fluidline. I have used this for so long now and it never really fails me. So I can't really explain this and do it at the same time, but basically I start from the middle, work my way towards the outer corner, go back to the inner corner, complete the line there, and then do the wing. For the waterline, I'm going to apply the MAC Eye Kohl in Fascinating, which is just this beautiful white. It really brightens the eyes, makes you look more awake. If the white is too intense for you, you can always use a nude liner. It has the same effect. And then I'm going to go in and apply the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This is the one I'm using right now, but I also really love Lash Princess by Essence. I start with my lower lashes, and then I'm going to apply it on the upper lashes. Now I'm going to do the brows with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, another product I've used for such a long time and repurchased. This is in the shade Ash Brown, and one end is the product, the other end is a spoolie. So for the most part, I follow my natural brow shape. I do kind of accentuate the arch a little bit with small little motions. And then I also just bring it down to make a point at the end here. So I kind of square out the brows a little bit towards the front. Then I use the spoolie to blend it out because I don't want it to be super harsh. Then I set the brows with the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. This is in clear. And I just do one swipe over each brow. Now I'll go ahead and finish up the face. I am going to use Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. I have other bronzers, but I've been reaching for this one the most lately. It's an oldie but a goodie. And I'm going to apply it using a fluffy powder brush. This is the Sedona Lace 376. This just adds a really nice warmth to the face, and it is the perfect shade for my skin tone. For blush, I've been using my Tarte Blush Bazaar palette and just switching it up depending on how I feel that day. So I'm going to use the Luxie 504 large angled brush, and I am going to mix Fortunate and Skillful. And I'm just going to apply this a little bit further back on the cheeks. I don't like to apply it too close to the apples just because my skin is naturally red there, so I don't want to accentuate that. For highlighter, I like to switch it up because I don't have a staple one. I like to use all of mine. So I am going to apply a little bit of Flexitarian Super Shock Cheek from ColourPop, just using my finger. And then I'm also going to take a little bit onto my nose and right on the Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to add even more highlight, even though I probably don't need to. This is the e.l.f. Coffee and Cream palette that Heart created. And I'm using my e.l.f. blush brush. I'm just going to mix the two shades and go right over where we put Flexitarian. Oh, I almost forgot, because this is a step I kind of just recently added, and I don't do it every single time I do this look, but I have been doing it when I go to Disney and stuff like that. So this is the Tarte glitter liner that they brought out during the holidays. This is in the shade Gold, and I just like to take this right on the inner part of the lower lash line. And then I pretty much stop where it reaches the first lash on my lower lash line. The thing that I love about doing this look is that I can wear any lip color with it and it will look great. So I feel like doing a bold lip today. I think I'm going to go with red. I am going to use the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. This is in the shade Kitten Heels. And I'm going to put that down first, line the lips, and then fill them in as well. Then I'm going to use the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip that I just got. And this is in the shade Creeper. Very excited to try this out for the first time ever. And then probably the most important step is to set the face. I use the Skindinavia Makeup Finishing Spray. And voila, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave any requests you might have in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all of your ideas. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Click the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.